Yay!
What
Oh
is
shit.
going on, everyone? It is totally nice to have you again. So lovely to have y'all here. Welcome to Vulnerability Time. I am your host, Trenton Epizon Rucker, and with me today, our special guest, we have Andrew. So, Andrew's from Orange, Texas. He graduated UT Austin in 2019 with a Bachelor's of Science in Chemistry, and he's currently a technician in an oil and gas field. Did I say that right? Is
You
it oil
did.
and
Awesome.
gas field? Okay,
Yes.
cool. Oh my gosh. So, Andrew, it's so lovely to have you. Thank you for just being here and being vulnerable and helping all of us heal.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you for having me on.
oh my God, it's totes amazed, dude. Okay, so chemistry, just really quick. So, what got you interested in chemistry?
So, growing up, both my parents were chemical engineers, so I was kind of guided that way a little bit. But I grew up liking it. I had a real good chemistry teacher in high school. She liked blowing things up. That's really the main thing that gets all chemists in. You start out, they go, "Oh, the explosions are cool," and then you get to college, you're like, "I want to do explosions." They're like, "Nope, you're gonna do math. You're gonna do a
You're
lot of
gonna
math. You will do so much math that you forget all the chemistry of it, and you just
do.
remember the math."
We love that. I cannot stand math for the life of me whatsoever. So applause to you. Applause to you. Don't you have to take physics too while you're also in chemistry?
Yes, yeah, you have to take physics. So we had to take 2 semesters of it, and I was actually trying to transfer into chemical engineering, so I had to take engineering physics,
Oh,
and
Jesus.
it was so hard.
Love that for you. Aren't you glad you're just that's like that weight is off your shoulders? Like
I'm
sheesh.
I'm so glad that I'm not in school anymore. Like it
Yes.
is it is amazing. The new struggle is work, but it's it's a different struggle, but at least I get paid for it.
E- e- exactly.
Yep.
I love that. We love that. We love that that outlook, everyone. We all need that reminder. At least you're getting paid for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It could be worse. You could be doing it for free. And
Exactly.
no one likes the free labor.
Or paying thousands of dollars to do it. Hence
Literally
college.
lose money to stress out. It's great.
Oh, love it. Oh, just love it. It's just yes. Okay. So, howdy folks. Today we'll be talking about insecurities, body acceptance, and a little bit of that it's gonna, trickle into perfectionism. So once again, I'm sure we can all thank Andrew for, willing to bring to us these topics, and talk about them and share his journey as he heals and we heal together. So Andrew, the topic's insecurities. What about that resonated with you?
So I know that I've always had a sort of like body dysmorphia, and I mean it was especially hard in college. Not necessarily because a little background. When I was in college and all through high school, I was on Vyvanse
Oh,
for ADHD.
yeah.
So one of the side effects is like you're super skinny,
No
you're never
appetite.
hungry, you never sleep, no appetite, all that. So I was very skinny, and but at the time I thought I was fat. So I was like, oh, I'm skinny fat, And especially after I graduated high school, I didn't work out that much. Most of the time that I worked out would be cardio, or I considered it like running the Vyvanse out of my system. So like I need to do something active to get it out of my system, right?
Okay.
And I would always be looking in the mirror and looking at the scale and all that, and I just wasn't happy. And eventually, I graduated and didn't need the Vyvanse anymore. So after that, started eating more, started gaining weight, and now I realize I'm like, oh, I'm fat.
Hmm.
So it's a constant struggle daily, but you know, I can finally say I'm somewhat satisfied with my body, and it's something that I don't really let dictate my life, aside from, you know, the generic health things, like if my blood sugar's like high or if I have high cholesterol, then obviously I'll, you know, diet and exercise to fix that. But I'm not doing it for like a body image thing.
That, and folks, that is, you know, Andrew, that is something huge, because, you know, this is not necessarily something that it's talked about in, you know, the male community when it comes to, you know, insecurities. You know, that's kind of like stigmatized, you know, put on this front, act like everything's totally okay, be a man, be everything but human, even though we are human first, you know. And you know, unfortunately, like, as society, you know, changes and develops, and image, body image changes, you know, along with that. And so it's like, unfortunately, we are going to be taught these insecurities, from whether it's from media, like, I mean, like, it's, would you agree that it's a learned insecurity?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's absolutely, like, when you get on Instagram, you see pictures of Ryan Reynolds and like Miles Teller and all them, you're like, holy shit. Like, and there was a tweet from I think it was Rob Mackle, one of the guys from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He said, like, this body, he was saying, like, this body isn't easy. It just takes, or it's real easy to get. It just takes like 4 trainers, this, it was like just all this stuff that only rich people have. And I think he was pointing out that, like, it's very hard to get like the perfect body.
Exactly. And it's like that definition of a quote unquote, by the way, when Andrew said perfect, he did the quote unquote, and I just think that is so true, because then again, it's like, you know, like, perfection is more of a perception, not a definition, because it's like, yeah, because it's like, I could be attracted to, you know, well, I mean, I could be attracted to, a really skinny guy, and then my friend could be attracted to, you know, a guy with muscles. You know what I mean? So, like, what is really the definition of a perfect body? There is none. It's just kind of like perception. And because, like, back then, you know, and I've said this on the earlier episode of the podcast, how, and it's really interesting, y'all, if you want to, like, look into how body acceptance and beauty of a body changes throughout the world in different cultures. Back then, it was attractive to be heavy, to be obese. It was not attractive to be skinny. It was also seen as a form of wealth if you were obese. But if you were skinny, you know, it was a sign that you were poor. Not saying that all skinny people were poor. It's just that societal perception. Right. You know, and you know, I just think a lot of guys, you know, are relating to you right now, Andrew, because this is not something, like I said, that's talked about. I don't know, like, have you, like, I know in, like, other societies, even today, in Europe, it's, in some parts of Europe, slim body with, like, the hourglass figure, like, is the beauty standard here in Texas, in the US. It's not like that in a lot of places in Europe. In a lot of places in Africa, the beauty standard is different. Yeah, and it's just like, that's the thing, that word standard, very unhealthy, because it's not like we are born as babies. Oh my God, I'm gonna be insecure when I grow up. Yay! Right. You know? Yeah, it's like kind of learned and taught that. Can you recall because you know, it is very easy to be taught things unintentionally, just by our eyes, just looking at those around us, and then the media and society doesn't help when we compare. And though there is definitely a lot of good things that can come with social media, there's a ton of bad things.
Mhm.
And so Andrew, can you recall an event, even if there's multiple events, can you recall an event that taught you to be to have an insecurity? There we go.
So like where I was kind of like not necessarily like taught, but kind of like forced into having like an insecurity. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times I'll be scrolling through like Instagram, and the especially during the summer, you get the beach pictures, the beach body,
Yeah.
and they have everyone's got like 6-pack abs and the tone pecs and all that, and I'm like, I don't look like that. I look soft, I look doughy, and I was like, I need to work on that. But in reality, I was like, I don't really need to work on that,
Right, exactly.
I was just thinking to myself, I was just thinking that I needed to work on it because I wanted to look like that. So it's kind of like it ends up being like a jealousy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like I really wish I looked like that instead of just being happy with how I look and what I have and all that.
Damn, a jealousy thingy. I never thought about it like that. That is a good point. Yeah, I mean, because it's like there's all these. I mean, I love body positivity. However, I just wish that, body negativity just was never a thing. I just really wish, because it's like we would just have body neutrality, which is just like, this is a body. It's a body. There's no
Right.
good, bad. It's just a human body, Yeah, and like you said, in the summer, those beach pics, those guys having hot boy summer, while, some of us are just having cold librarian, I don't know, doctor, scientist, professor, I don't know, something cold.
Cold librarian summer.
Yeah, there we go. Cold librarian summer.
We don't go in the sun. We just have cardigans. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, and Andrew, the thing is, like, now I finally love my body, but for so long I did not love my body. Like, I was always so scrawny, and now I've picked on a little bit of weight, and oof, I kind of don't want to share this, but this is vulnerability time. So I went Andrew's face, everybody. We love him. We love him. I went to So I'm in Austin, Texas now for the summer. And I went to this place called, it's either Barton Springs or Barton Creek, whatever it is.
Oh, Barton Springs?
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Gotcha. See, because I'm glad you know, because I was like, I don't know the name at this point. I just know Barton. Barton. Yeah, and there's all these like at least from what I've seen, my perception are all these like guys with these like great bodies, and it's just like it was so many of them, and I damn, I cannot believe I'm about to say this. Well, I mean, I don't okay, so the perception when I see these, beach bodies from guys, these 6-pack abs as well, you know what I mean? It's like they have the muscles, they have pecs, they have like a what I've seen like pretty like nice size like bottom, that's just little, like when you see like a frame or figure on Instagram, like you see all that. And I finally have something back there, but it's like, it's I still felt a little insecure, and and I'm like, I was thinking if I just get at least one of these attributes, because I've always wanted that so bad, just to look like, to have that body, because I felt like, I would just, all my insecurities would go away, and so I realized, I'm like, no, there's other insecurities, other that I, struggle with other than my body, and I was like, I love my body now. The insecurities that I have just as a human didn't go away.
Right.
Yeah. So are there, if you don't mind sharing, are there insecurities, other than body that, you don't have to name them all, or if you want to, shit. Hey, you're the special VIP guest. Everyone, we bow down, we stan Andrew. King Andrew, everyone. King Andrew, folks. Yeah, speaking to the mic. Are there any... I have a remote control in my hand, everyone, acting like it's a microphone. It's definitely a remote control, but, you don't need to know that. Are there any other insecurities that you have, other than body?
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like, there's a lot of times I feel like I'm dumb, and I mean, granted, should I feel dumb? I mean, based on some of the things I do, yeah, but I mean, no, I don't need to be insecure about that, but like, it's definitely one of the insecurities I have is I feel dumb. Like I said, I was on Vyvanse, so I have ADHD. So that's one of the things that I struggle with a lot of times is like my mind races and I get confused easily. And, like, and then most of the time, the insecurities come from the ADHD. Like, it's just me overthinking things. So it's like,
yeah, I did some research on ADHD. The ADHD iceberg, like the tip of the iceberg is, we just struggle to focus.
It's like there's so much to it. Like, there's insecurities, there's forgetting to do things. There are days where like I will just after like I go to work for the 8 hours and I come home and I just lay in bed. Like, don't even put the TV on, don't even get on my phone. I just lay there.
Yeah.
Because like it's just everything is so overwhelming and I don't want to deal with it. Exactly.
And it's like with ADHD, ADHD, I know a lot of people don't know this because it's utilized in it's romanticized in a way. Like, people are like, oh my god, my ADHD is kicking in, and they might not actually have ADHD. Not saying, some of them may be just, not diagnosed yet, but it is safe to say that there are, a lot of folks, whether they don't, I would hope they don't mean any harm, but they say, oh, my ADHD is kicking in, or oh, my OCD is kicking in, just romanticize just because, they forgot to do something. It's my ADHD, But folks, with ADHD comes depression, it comes anxiety, there comes insecurities. I can't even list, but there's so much.
Like, there really is. There's a lot that comes with it. Yeah. And a lot of it stems from like overthinking. And, a lot of times you'll notice like one little tiny insecurity about yourself. Like, I don't like how I look, or, like, that was stupid. And then that snowballs into like, am I autistic or something like that? And you're like, how did we make that jump?
Right. Yeah. And it's like people who, don't necessarily understand ADHD. It's like, I just feel like it kind of adds like, well, at least for me, I don't know, you tell me if you agree. Like, do you feel like it kind of adds another barrier because we're not neurotypical, quote unquote, neurotypical? So it's like we kind of have to, at least for me, I've experienced like kind of having to hide or hold back, not hide, hold, well, shit, I don't know, maybe hide/hold back my ADHD because I'm afraid of how the other person's going to respond to it or view me. They're going to think I'm too much or annoying or I'm all over the place, when it's just like, I can't help it. I'm trying my best. Have you ever like felt like that? Like,
oh yeah. A lot of times what I do is it's just kind of like sometimes it's like a protective thing, is like, I'm like super shy. And part of that's a protective thing. If like, I don't want to say anything stupid. I don't want to do anything stupid. I don't want to be too much. I just kind of want to be, even keeled, just like a
fly on the wall,
like an NPC, like one of those.
Yeah.
And then And then inevitably, what happens is I drink, and then I become,
Oh, God. A whole other side.
a whole new world.
Oh. American Idol's winner, everybody, Andrew. A whole new world. I love that. We love a good Disney reference. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with Disney.
We do. Oh God, one of the days at work, this was last week, I had an anxiety attack, and I was like, oh shit, fuck this. I go home, I watched Monsters University. That's like my go-to movie.
Yes.
That is my go-to movie, is Monsters University.
I love that movie. Come on, like it brought back. Now, when I heard that they were making a sequel, I didn't know, because at first it was going to be a sequel, and then they ended up making it a prequel. But at first it was just going to be kind of like a continuation. I'm satisfied with either. But now I want to see like Monsters Inc. 2. Like I want to see a sequel.
Right.
Like Incredibles 2. I want to see a sequel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of pumped for the prequel, because weird thing is I love movies about college, like Revenge of the Nerds. God, I'm blanking. Animal House. Animal House is like one of my favorite movies of all time. Back to School is another good one. Like I just love movies about college for some reason.
Yeah.
So when they did a Monsters Inc. prequel when they were in college, I was like, oh, it's going down. Like,
It's going
I was like,
down.
this is gonna be great. And it honestly lived up to my expectations. Like,
yeah, honestly, it was a good movie. It made a lot of money for a reason. You know what? That actually, can tie into our insecurities. Because something that I, realized while watching that movie, Mike Wazowski, there was a couple moments where, his insecurities shows.
So many insecurities.
So many insecurities.
However, he was not scary enough.
Yeah, right? Like, he's not enough to the environment standards. And it's like, when we get in like different environments, there seems to be different standards. It's just like,
right.
It adds on to the insecurity. It just makes the anxiety worse. However, what Mike Wazowski, oh my God, no, I did not just do that. I could have done it better. I could have done it better, y'all. It's vulnerability time. I'll give it a shot. Mike Wazowski. No, not. You know what? I'm just a little.
I think it was good.
I think it was great. I think they should go ahead and just cast me for the voice of Boo. Just go ahead and do it, Disney. I'm here.
Monsters Inc. 2.
Yes. But yeah. This just shows y'all having an insecurity does not disqualify you from purpose. Mike Wazowski, quote unquote, wasn't quote unquote scary enough. However, he still made a huge impact, in the scare business. So though others may have disqualified him, he was qualified this whole entire time. In fact, he kind of like saved everything. So he was even more than qualified. And it's just like, sometimes when we look at ourselves, we don't see that we in a way disqualify ourselves, oh, I'm not enough, or I'm going to be too much for this. Oh no, I'm not good enough. I'm not going to do it, and we're not bad for thinking that, you know what I mean? This is all a protection. Our body and our brain are just trying to protect us, however, like I said earlier in a recent podcast, that wall of protection can protect, but it can also kind of rob us sometimes. Especially with the pressures on society, and like you and me have ADHD, that comes with anxiety.
We're talking about Monsters University right now. We tangented off to a Disney movie. Of course, we tangented
off to a Disney movie. We did. Oh my God, so ADHD. But like we can actually say the term so ADHD because it's like we actually have it. We're diagnosed with it.
Right.
I hated Vyvanse, by the way. But yeah, like, dude, it's like I forgot what I was saying. ADHD, folks.
Woo!
Woo! you know what? I forgot what I was saying, but damn it. But all I know is, oh yeah, we can, those walls can kind of rob us, and so folks, it's good to challenge ourselves, but not push ourselves too far. Like, I don't know, like, have you ever, Andrew, let's say if you're in a moment, where the insecurities is kicking in, do you ever feel bad afterwards because you've like had that insecurity and it's like your mind kind of quote unquote fell into that insecurity?
I no, not really actually.
Oh.
I just kind of let it happen and write it out. And one of that's I just realized that it just kind of makes us human to have the insecurities, and just kind of having that thought kind of keeps me grounded. Of going, the what is it, the saying like this too shall pass or something like that. So it's like everything's gonna end up going back to normal eventually.
Well, Andrew, I needed to hear that. I needed that reminder, that humans, we're gonna have insecurities. That actually was a thing, even in the hunter-gatherer days. Insecurities weren't always seen as much as an incapacitation. It was more seen as an enhancement. Like, okay, like it was, I don't want to say it was in a healthy way, but like it's much more damaging now to have insecurities from what it seems like within this society. But back then it was just like, okay, this is something I can work towards, rather than, I have to do this only to like fit in or to be good enough. Like, and a lot of beauty can come from quote unquote insecurities. But I like what Andrew said, humans, we're gonna have insecurities. We're not bad people for having insecurities. And, I needed to hear that, Andrew, because for me, like, I feel like such a bad person for having insecurities, and I don't even realize it until like I look back like after the situation and I'm like, I wish I didn't feel that. Like, is anyone else struggling with insecurities as well? It doesn't look like it, and a lot of folks, that have the quote unquote perfect bod, or, there were so many insecurities beneath the surface. There's a lot that goes on within a body, internally. Our inclination is to see externally. And it's because, you know what I mean, Andrew? It's not like we're going to go up to someone and dissect them to see their internal. That I just thought that was so random and funny. Yeah, to see like their internal. Just what I mean, folks, is like the outside exterior might not always match the internal exterior. When it pertains to, like insecurity, like this person could be hating themselves, and you could think they are so attractive. You know what I mean?
This reminds me. Have you heard the story about this MLB player named Drew Robinson? So he played baseball for the Giants, or no? So he was with the Texas Rangers a lot, and then he got traded to the St. Louis Cardinals, and got traded to the San Francisco Giants. But he was getting sent up to the majors and sent down to AAA and up and down and up and down. And he was already struggling with a bunch of mental health stuff. So one day during the offseason, I think he was injured or something, he attempted to kill himself, actually. And so he shot himself. This is going to get graphic, so I apologize.
Vulnerability time. We're raw, uncut, unedited.
So basically what he did is he went through his normal day, then about like 8 o'clock, put a gun to his temple and shot himself, and woke up 12 hours later. So he didn't die, woke up, took a shower, actually slipped in the shower, and then like all this bad stuff happened, and then he realized that the fact that he was trying to, or no, what it was is he had a headache because he shot himself in the head. He took an Advil And when he eventually realized that him taking the Advil was him deciding that he wanted to live.
Mm.
So we ended up calling 911 and got all the, got taken to the hospital, all that. Ended up losing his eye. And now he's like a mental health. He actually made a comeback in AAA, hit a home run, all that. Retired. And he is now like a mental health coach for the San Francisco Giants. So he's a huge mental health advocate.
Wow.
And it's honestly one of the more inspiring stories that I've ever heard.
Damn.
Because, like, I mean, you think this guy, like, has it all, right? Like, he's a professional athlete. And, like, he's not a bad-looking guy, by any means. And he's still battling with depression and anxiety and feeling like he's not good enough and all of that.
Wow. That's an eye-opener, folks. If you're out there, I didn't even know that. Sorry, all my baseball listeners. I don't know sports. I don't know anything. I don't know anything when it comes to sports. Look that guy up, y'all. Thanks, Andrew. Wow, that was needed. That was needed to be shared, because I know a lot of us have, thought about that or attempted that, having all this stuff go on inside. But, like, there's a lot that goes on behind a smile. Yeah, y'all. Phew. I mean, the reason why I love this podcast, Vulnerability Time, other than the fact that it is raw, uncut, unedited, but we don't like how we can just conversate, how we can talk about one topic and then we can just conversate into a whole other topic. And that's what's so authentic. Like, a suicide attempt. That wasn't in the topics list. However, we're talking about it, and it's for a reason. Ooh, ouch. Yeah. I mean, I'm a suicide attempt survivor, and so many people, they're like, oh no, you're so happy all the time. No, I was suffering. This is when I was 15. I actually took a bunch of pills, and I was dying, actually. And I felt literally my soul slowly getting snatched out of my body. And I also felt this tremendous regret as well. Now, in a way, I still wanted to leave, and I had very valid reasons why. Technically I died, but that's for, I want to get into it, but, like, at the same time I don't, because it might
another
make
podcast kind of thing.
I'm scared that it'll make people uncomfortable. But there's growth in the uncomfort. Like, I got to experience a little bit of afterlife. I just don't want to encourage someone, oh, do this. No, y'all, let me tell y'all this. I was brought back to life. I didn't go to the hospital. I was in my room. I did it all, like, by myself, everything, and I got to meet a being who had 2 holes in his hands. And that being hugged me, Now, I grew up atheist, okay, for a reason. And even to this day, I'm still a little but apparently this guy was Jesus. And literally my whole body, just everything, first of all, I couldn't feel nothing but, like, happiness, love, and just joy. And it's just weird because, honestly, I never was loved in my life. Like, I literally was not. My parents I'm not even just exaggerating. My parents did not love me. yeah, and so I'm back here on Earth, and not saying that I had a couple more attempts after that, and every time I got stopped miraculously, um, and I'm just like, there would have been a lot of people that I wouldn't have met, a lot of people that there was a lot of love that I encountered in my life after, after that I would have never gotten if I just, left and ended it, you know. And I want y'all to know that despair, that's actually a normal human protection coping mechanism as well. These things have been around for a while, folks. So you're not a bad person for experiencing the want to leave. There's a lot more research that goes into that. You know what I mean? Don't leave. But there's don't, like, people will make people feel bad for, opening up about that stuff. And I'm like, keep living. That was a thing. Shoot, even in the hunter-gatherer days, I love like referring to hunter-gatherer days. I'm still doing research on that, folks, but it's just like a lot of these instincts that we have, a lot of these feelings, reactions towards situations, they're nothing new. And it's weird because it's like we bash this type of reaction, we bash this type of feeling that was completely normal and people supported, back in those days. It wasn't stigmatized. It wasn't, oh, a male, a female can feel this, can feel that. That wasn't necessarily a thing. When it comes to like, oh, are you crying? No, males could cry. It wasn't, society wasn't always westernized. Society wasn't always 21st century, y'all, is what I'm trying to say. So if you're feeling certain things, you're not a bad person. You're not insane for feeling that. If anything, you're honest, and you're being honest with yourself for even acknowledging that you are feeling that. So sometimes I'm just like, I'll just say this. The childhood that was full of just straight horror, trauma, it's just things didn't go right. I just feel like I was literally always at the wrong place at literally the wrong time. It's like I could not have been born into a worse family. Like it's like if Satan came up and just said, "Here, let me give you worse family," I would have been like, I got you beat. I was like, my family got you beat. If they're listening to this, well, it's the honest truth. They need to be held accountable. I'm not gonna lie for them, right?
Right.
But what I'm saying is, like, y'all, if I ended it, you know what I mean? I had every right to do so. However, I don't want to necessarily say I'm glad I did it. What I'm saying, I'm not going to necessarily say I'm not glad or glad that I did it. What I'm saying, y'all, is there was love, there was happiness, there was genuine help, genuine support waiting for me in the coming years of my life. And it's still here now. You may not see it. We see the external, we see, the current, the present, and you're not bad for having your senses and, feeling and being in your reality. But I do want to encourage someone, because I don't think Andrew brought this up for no reason. I think Andrew is helping someone right now who needs to hear. Someone who needs to hear all these things. It literally gets better, and y'all don't have to get help on your own. Before you leave, y'all, just exhaust all your options. I will say that, because I don't want to say, oh, therapy's for everyone, like it's a one-size-fits-all thing. But I will say
it's for sure not for everyone, but there is always some form of a support system.
Exactly. And I'm like, y'all, I know it can feel like you've done everything and nothing's working. Please, for Andrew, boldness for sharing on this show, y'all. Don't give up just yet. You know, keep on. There's love. You didn't go through this for no reason. And though you don't have to go through these things to be quote unquote strong, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just getting a little emotional and choked up. You know, I just keep holding on, y'all. Just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer, okay?
We're very happy that you're here.
We're very happy that you're here. And if you're out there, and I know you are, you're not alone.
You're not alone.
I promise you're not alone.
If anything, it makes you more human.
Exactly. More honest, more human. Because we are human first before all of these standards and, you know, things of that nature. Oof. Andrew, that was needed, my dude.
It was a heavy hitter.
A little heavy hitter there. Hashtag vulnerability time.
Love it.
Love it. You know, I don't know, like, did you want to say anything? Comments, relations? If not, it's totally okay. You can nod. Go ahead. If you don't want to, you can nod. Okay.
I think you covered everything. Actually,
gotcha.
You got just about everything that I wanted to mention on that topic that I felt needed to be mentioned.
Right. And like I said, you know, y'all, I just think this is super huge, you know, and I'm so appreciative that Andrew's talking about this because this is not talked about in the male community. You know, honestly, I would say there's only been, and I'm not even joking when I say this, I'm 24, y'all, and I used to consider myself a very social person. Now I'm not. I'm like, I'm ambivert at most. I'm like, but out of all this time, I think I've only had all the encounters that I've had with males. I think Andrew's like the second or third one who's been vulnerable enough to admit they have insecurities.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, it's very much it's very much a societal thing that men don't have emotions and don't show emotions. When in reality, I mean, bottling it up doesn't help. And I for sure bottle up my emotions. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I bottle them up as much as I can.
Right.
And it's not healthy. I know it's not healthy, but it's just how I've always done things.
Right.
And I recognize I need to change. And I'm working on changing that and being more open about my feelings and my emotions and letting those shine through.
Oh shit! So literally, even more of an applause to you, my dude. I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah, like, I'm actively trying to be. That's not the reason that I'm here, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, no. As a side thing, I'm actively trying to be more open about my feelings, let them show, and not bottle them up so much.
Yes, you know, that. I'm so sorry, Andrew. There are two people about to make out outside of my window, and I kind of just want to knock and be like, "Get a room. I'm lonely. Get a room. You don't have to be right here. You can go make out any other place. Do not make out." They made out. They made out.
Made out.
It's a fucking dog park, like right by me. They made out. You know what? I'm leaving. I'm moving to Alaska or Antarctica, something like that.
At a dog park. That's a.
Yeah. They're like walking. They're about to do it again. I should call the police and just be like, public display of affection. I'm single. I don't want to see it. They did it again. Oh gosh, they're doing something. Okay, we're just gonna not look anymore. I'm gonna knock.
Are they playing grab ass? What's going on over there?
Oh, okay. They kind of stopped. I don't know if they know that. Y'all, there's a
keep Austin weird.
Yes, keep Austin weird, but not keep Austin nude.
Not in front of my window.
Right. Do they not know they're in front of 2 apartment buildings? They're in between 2 apartment buildings.
I think they know.
Okay, I'm just gonna look the other way and just, hope that they keep things PG-13 because it doesn't look like they're keeping things PG-13. Y'all, this is vulnerability time. We just, it's raw, uncut, and unedited.
Look, there's nothing wrong with showing affection. Just, it's a little weird in public. That
keep your clothes on.
Yes.
Although, but there's a limit to public expression of this. I gotta knock, y'all.
There is absolutely a limit, and from what it sounds like, I'm in a different
shit.
city.
They're looking at me. They're looking at me. I'm just gonna not make eye contact.
No, hold the eye contact.
I will hold the eye contact. Me and Andrew are on Zoom talking, y'all, so we can see each other. Be
assertive. Just hold the eye contact.
Okay, they're leaving. Yeah, they better.
Yeah. Did y'all not realize that this was an apartment building?
Exactly. Because at first I'm just like, we get it. Y'all are cute. Ugh, couples. Ugh, I'm in a single life, And then
they just kept going.
They kept going, and I'm just like, well, okay, now I get it. I get it. I'm single.
That's got to be date number 3, right? Like that's still like a. They got
honeymoon.
Past the awkward phase of I don't want to like touch you kind of thing, but they're still in the honeymoon phase. So that's got to be date 3 or 4.
Oh, definitely.
I'm putting money on it. Date 3 or 4.
I'm gonna put a good 3 pennies on it. Yeah, I'm putting money on it. I'm gonna put a good 3 pennies. Yeah. We're in inflation right now. We gotta be careful. Gas is about $723.13 a gallon, plus a billy goat.
Plus a billy goat.
You gotta have
of that, there's a CPAP shortage, and I'm on the waiting list for a CPAP machine, and I have been for 3 months. I haven't gotten one. The last I heard was I got a text because I did like the mobile, the mobile notifications for my clinic down the street, and they went, so there's a shortage of CPAPs. That's the last I heard. I'm like, oh no.
Statement of the century. Oh,
yeah.
Love that.
Like, there's a shortage. Damn it.
Oh. Well, folks, we're about to wrap up here. I just want to once again thank Andrew, and I'm not being cliche, like I genuinely thank you. We will definitely be having Andrew back on the show, y'all. So this is not the last you'll see of Andrew, because there's definitely a little bit more that I want to talk about with Andrew. But Andrew is determination. I'm saying this. Andrew is discipline. Andrew is trying. There I go, getting emotional. Love that. I love a good teary-eyed.
Hey, they know what they signed up for.
They know. I love that. That. I'm gonna use that. But Andrew, thank you for being a voice for those of us who feel voiceless. I want you to know how huge this is, because I'm noticing in my analytics that I'm getting more and more male listeners, and I'm really shocked, honestly. So it's I know you have impacted, and you're going to keep impacting, because this podcast episode it's not going nowhere. It's when it publishes, it's up there. Throw it on your resume. By the way, you were on a fucking podcast.
It was on a fucking podcast.
Yeah, because you always want to stand out in an interview. I was on a podcast. Which one of y'all were? No.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
None of y'all. All right, let's go.
All right then. I think I got this job. I'll just hire myself.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, with that being said, y'all, this is awesome. This is amazing. This is Vulnerability Time, and you can follow Andrew's Instagram at... Andrew, can you say your Instagram? I don't know if I can say it because you're
It is at Andrew Pesick, and Pesick is spelled Pesek.
Okay.
It's all lowercase.
Okay.
I tried that. I think that's what it is. I think my
Yeah.
I forget if it's is it okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 'Cause my Twitter's the same thing, but with an underscore somewhere in there, and I'm like, I forget which one every time.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, y'all know underscore. Just Andrew Pesick. He gave me the permission to say this. And y'all, if he has impacted y'all in any way, please do not hesitate to let him know on Instagram. And I know everyone shows their gratitude differently, so you don't necessarily. Andrew knows that, you know, if he doesn't get a message, that doesn't mean he didn't impact anyone. You know what I mean? Because it's
I will be
hard.
very offended. No, I'm just
So offended, y'all. Ugh, quit.
so offended.
I quit.
I expect a message from every listener. No,
every single one.
every single one of you. I'm kidding. I'm absolutely kidding.
LOL. But yes, y'all, that's his Instagram. It will be in the episode description below. And we look forward to having Andrew back again, y'all.
I can't wait.
Yeah, sorry, my tongue almost fell out. With that being said, it happens all the time. It just like
all the time, every time.
Every
I think I did it this episode and just went over it. Like I just ignored it. Like
oh my gosh. This has been Vulnerability Time, folks. See y'all next Friday for the commentary. And then from then on, y'all, I'll give you the next topics and the next special guests and all that great stuff. Bye, y'all. Hear y'all next Friday. See y'all next Friday. That's easier to say. Bye. Say bye, Andrew.
Bye.